This is a MA-XRF scanner. Basically what we're doing is we're shooting X-rays at this painting and they go through the painting, but everything that it crosses through reacts in a slightly different way. And we can record all of that information. So iron, for example, interacts with this X-ray and sends us back something with energy 2. And then cobalt does something similar, but energy 3. And by moving over the painting, we can map all these numbers and kind of see where all these elements are present. So we get a map for each element, which we can then relate to pigments. We can see if a painter once painted something but decided they wanted something else on top. We can see those hidden layers underneath. The platter of grapes, the little still life. And I found that part of the sky goes underneath some of the grapes. So he clearly painted the grapes first, then the sky, and decided, wait, I don't have enough grapes yet. So he painted some extra grapes going over the sky. So it's kind of fun. It brings you close to the artist because you can look into their mind as they're painting and follow their process a little bit better than just looking at the painting itself. And before this was around, so this is a way of mapping pigments all over the surface. You either had to take a sample, which is quite invasive, or you measure only singular points, which gives you a lot of information on that one point, but makes it very easy to miss stuff that's hidden from the eye. So this opens up such a wide range of possibilities and makes sure you get a way more comprehensive image of what's going on.